Okay, so NF Mistake. For those of you who want to listen to Turn My Back, that is on the Sphere. I will leave the link down in the description. If you want to take a look at that content, you can become a paid subscription of the Sphere. It's a very, very small amount if you like. And yeah, it's an additional content on the Sphere. And so I'm just trying to sort of balance out the content that I put on YouTube and on the Sphere. And yeah, for those of you who, some of you are like, oh no, but why would you do that and stuff like that? And it's like, I think if you understand what it's like to spend this amount of time to try and sort of get a viable channel running without feeling like it's just for nothing, you'll understand why people start Patreons and why people do things like this that are outside of YouTube. What I'm trying to do is just trying to manage people's expectations as best they can, right? The ones that I feel that are more of what people want to see, like more people want to see it, I will put on YouTube for you guys. And the ones that I feel that, I could put on the Sphere for you guys to go and take a look at extra content, that's where I'll put it there. I really am trying to be very sort of methodical about how I do this and how I balance out the content so that you guys don't feel done by if you don't want to go and sign up, right? So just let you know. Also, there's priority requests. So if you guys want to leave a priority request, you can do it in the Sphere. That's one of the perks of becoming a member of the Sphere. And it's literally a price of the cup of coffee, and it's completely up to you. You know your finances. If you can do it, do it. If not, it doesn't matter. But there will be additional content on the Sphere every single day. Either it's in the skip the line reactions, or it's in the priority reactions, or it's in the additional content. There's 3 libraries over there that you can take a look at, and we will be consistently populating those libraries, and all for the going price of $2.70. I don't think it's too bad, but it's completely up to you guys. Anyway, Mistake NF, man. Let's get on to the next one. Let's go.
I feel like I'm at a standstill, waiting for you to tell me I'm okay. If time heals, tell me, why do I kill myself trying to show you I'm not a mistake? I've got qualities that I'm not proud of. I've made promises that I walked out on. I've had days I feel I don't deserve love. So think what you think, just don't call me a mistake. Might have made some, can't argue with that, but I ain't one. Even I sometimes get afraid of having to face the wrath of an anxious me. I get it cause I actually feel the same. Sometimes I think I might be a lost cause who turns off cause the way I read into what I've been through. You think I'm mental, but it pays off though. When the rents due, I pursue what I love, and if it goes south and falls down, just know I stand on my own 2 feet. Don't you see those that oppose on me? Most won't leave thinking I might retreat. Show my teeth quick if you turn on me, cause I feel like I'm at a standstill, waiting for you to tell me I'm okay. If time heals, tell me, why do I kill myself trying to show you I'm not a mistake? I've got qualities that I'm not proud of. I've made promises that I walked out on. I've had days I feel I don't deserve love. So think what you think, just don't call me up. Just don't call me up. Just don't call me up. Mistake, cause I'm not one. Misplaced, but I found a lot of resentment causes a mess when you let it get to the place of no confidence. Struggle with it, that's obvious, but not enough to make me second guess if I die for the ones I love. So don't you get confused, thinking if you bring me down, I'ma just choose to let myself get used. I don't live like that, I feel trapped, I might lash out. I gotta watch my back, cross my path, especially with ill intent. You'll regret you ever took that task if and when this thing could all go bad. Don't you act like no one warned you, yeah, cause I feel like I'm at a standstill, waiting for you to tell me I'm okay. If time heals, tell me, why do I kill myself, trying to show you I'm not a mistake. I've got qualities that I'm not proud of. I've made promises that I walk out on. I've had days I feel I don't deserve love. So think what you think, just don't call me up. Mistake.
This song actually, it's such a beautiful song, but I'm found, and this is very not like me for NF, I'm found emotionally torn on this one, because in most circumstances, this kind of song would get an emotional response out of me where it breaks me. Just hear me out, right? Before clicking off. I know you've heard the song, but just hear me out. And there's a reason I didn't want to stop it, because I felt that there's a lot of what was in there that I had to listen to sort of affirm my own thoughts and my own psychological standing in terms of how it would relate to me, this particular song, because it does. But the reason I don't have such a heavy emotional response to it now is because that person who I thought was a mistake no longer exists in me. That person died, I'd say about 5-6 years ago. It sort of, let me not say died, it was on life support 5-6 years ago, and it died when my son was born. For a lot of the time growing up, even in my childhood, I did feel completely unworthy. I feel like nobody wanted me. Biological mother didn't want me, left when she was 5 years old. Stepmother didn't really want me, sort of took us in, which I'll always be grateful for her anyway, for doing that, because I feel that, to give her credit, for as horrible as our lives were in her house growing up, I still find that the alternative would have been worse. The only problem there was she would let you know that the alternative would have been worse, and it's thanks to her that you're not in the gutter. That's a quote directly out of her mouth. If it wasn't for me, you would be in the gutter, like your father. I don't know why I'd be even saying this on a video, but anyway, it took a lot, and I had to walk a very unforgiving but fortunate path to get to a stage where I accepted me for who I was, and more than accepting me for who I was, accepting that my existence is by no means a mistake, that there is purpose to my existence, there's purpose to me being here, there's purpose to my soul. And that, with that awareness, with that realization, with me trying to work towards that every day for the past 6 years, it's kind of taken me out of a place that would make me wake up in the morning and feel like, I'm not actually worth it. I actually do, in every which way, feel that I'm worth it. I feel that my existence here is one of importance. If not to me, it is to my family, and if not to society at large, it is to my immediate family, it is to my child, my responsibility and accountability to my son and to my wife and to the beautiful people I'm surrounded with. I'm here for a reason. I add a lot to their lives as they do to mine. And in no way do I feel like I'm a mistake. And the problem with that, the problem with why people feel like that, is because they go through their hardships in life. And a lot of shit gets thrown their way, and a lot of people will try and tear you down and tell you that you're not worth it, and come from an abusive family and you feel like you're not worth it. But what happens is that sticks with you, and if you don't work through that, right, everything that will come at you, even if it's from a space of love, is going to feel like it's an attack on you, because you don't feel you're worthy enough. And when you're in that space, any feedback, even if it's legitimate feedback, is going to be an attack on your character when it's not. You know what I mean? So when you're having a fight with your girlfriend or your wife or whatever else, and they throw at you, it's like, I fucking hate it when you do this, and you always fucking do this. Do you know what I mean? First thing people are going to do is just going to pick up on that, and they're going to be like, I'm a fucking arsehole. I'm not worth anything. You know what I mean? Of course, like, you know, so many people say that, but what you don't realize is that you need to understand the difference between feedback and judgment. And there are feedback. When you are so solidified in who you are, nothing needs to affirm you. If you need to be affirmed by others, the problem lies in you. You are the issue. If you take insult from others and you can't handle that to the point that you got to tell others how to speak around you, you need to look inside of yourself, because you're not content with who you are. And you can lie to yourself all that you fucking like and be like, this is my true me, this is my true identity, this is how I feel, this is my lived experience. You can say whatever the fuck you like. If you request that other people is consistently bowing at you and affirming what you want them to affirm in you, it's because you're insecure with your own self. If you're happy with who you are, nothing anybody says about you would even make a dent in your fucking armor. Because you're content with who you are. And nothing can shake that. So there's a very big difference between feedback and judgment, right? And a lot of the times when we don't feel like we're worth anything, we tend to take any feedback and say that, oh no, we're being attacked. Take the feedback. Think about the feedback. Work on the feedback, because maybe that'll help you someday. And trust me, I've gone through this. I've gone through everything everyone is throwing up. Oh, it's just because of you, this. It's just because you don't like me, or it's just because you don't want to see me happy, or it's just because of this, or it's just because of that, or you're siding with my mother, or you're siding with my father. And all I did is I played that ridiculous game the entire fucking time until I eventually got to a point where I couldn't breathe. And thankfully, I was blessed to be put on a path where I met some incredible people that steered me down some incredible paths to try and get my mind right. Feedback's important. It's worth stepping back and fucking listening sometimes. Because as much as we think we fucking know everything, and as much as we want to stick to our rightness, 9 times out of 10, that characteristic is just going to dig a deeper hole for yourself. Nobody who's watching this, not a single person with a beating heart that is currently watching this video is a mistake, even if they feel like they are one. Nobody. You're all here for a purpose. Just decipher the difference between feedback and attack. And that's why this doesn't hit so hard for me anymore. A song like this would actually crush me 7 years ago, because I would have 7, 8, 9 years ago, because I would have felt like I feel like I was a mistake. I most certainly am not. I know for a fucking fact that I'm not. I'm not. My son's not. Everyone in my life is not. You're not. Everyone watching this is not a mistake. Not by any means. Not by any means. But I know where that feeling comes from. And I know why people would feel like that. Because I've gone through that. And as much as it may be the fault of our upbringing and the fault of our environment, you will never be able to fix it unless you make it your fault. Unless you are accountable for your own life. Because the fault lies in your own hands too. You can change it all. One of the greatest lessons I've ever learned. No one held a gun to your head. Whose fault is it? No, it's that one. Why? No, it's my mother and my father's fault. Why? You could have run away from home. Are you ridiculous? I was like 13. How can I run away from home? Don't tell me you tried everything. You could have run away from home. You could have run away from home and gotten out of the situation. Why didn't you? Why? Because excuse. And you'll be stuck in that loop of excuse, and it becomes a habit. Oh no, the reason I'm like this is because, and you'll do excuse. If you're not out of your situation, it's because you have not tried everything. Because if you tried everything, you would be out of your situation. You're not a mistake. Get up. Work harder. Because if you know you're worth more, it's not hard to do. I love you all. Please stay safe, please stay healthy. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.